we need to create the required JavaScript that will conduct all this animation. Now let's get back to our index.html, and beneath all those script source, those were involved to run this page as a whole, beneath that we will be creating a new script tag. So we have created a script tag here. So this is the first thing that we need to set the display of this particular font awesome icon, when it should display or when it should not. That will be depending on to this particular script. So this is what we need to create first. In the first case, all we are going to do now we need to use a function here which is known as scroll top. Now we have to assign that particular class name that we have used here on which particular div or particular selector all these things are going to happen. That means we have stated here an if else condition which states that do this function when the particular page is at a height of greater than 100. Then we need to fade in which class should it fade in, this particular class. Else what is going to happen? Now let's talk about our intention. We want our particular class to appear whenever it is below a particular height. For say it is 100 pixels, then it should appear. And if the condition is not met when the page is at the top of the browser, then there's practically no need to inherit this particular icon over here. So that is why that icon will be disappeared when the page is on top. But when the page is scroll down to 100 pixels height, that means if the height is now greater than 100 pixels, only then this icon will appear, and it will let us on clicking to reach on top of this particular page. So that is why we have set this condition at a height greater than 100 pixels. Scroll top will make this particular class scroll top to fade in. Else, in the else condition, when the page is on the top, then there's absolutely no need to display that particular icon, and hence this fade out option will then act and the icon will be disappeared. Now all we need to do, we need to make some animation. Another thing, this will be surely a mistake if we do not specify whether it is a class or an ID. So in each case, whenever you are copying this, do not forget to mention whether it is a class or it is an ID. So in this particular case, we have used a class here. This is the class scroll top. So you need to mention it here. Now all we are going to do, we are mentioning the first thing is where should this scroll take place. It is practically in the Windows scroller version, so we need to mention that over here. So that is what we need to mention here. We need to activate this scroll function. And copy this, and right beneath this else part where it is now ended, we have to close this Windows scroller function here. So we have defined this Windows scroll function. What is it exactly doing over here? It is practically measuring the scrolling amount, and that is why it is being adopted over here. Now it is almost clear and okay. So if we now press Ctrl S and get back to our project and reload, and if we get down, click, and you can see that the animation is now going on. We can see now that the animation is present into our page and everything is working quite well. So these are the things that you need to remember while creating this back to top button. The first thing all you need to do, you need to wrap your entire page with a common ID which is known as top in this particular case, and it is given to the body segment of your HTML page. In the second case, we need to create that clicking element on clicking which all these things will happen. So in the second case, we created that particular element. We need to decorate it. So that is why we have decorated it into our custom style sheet, and here we have made all those things, those are needed. And in the last case, we need to implement that particular JavaScript. We need to implement that particular jQuery which will be acting in this particular case. So all these things are the required steps to do this, and the result will be something like this one. So if we now click here, we can see that on clicking this particular element, we can reach on top of the page. Hope you guys have liked this tutorial, and also hope that this thing will be aiding you in creating your own project, in tuning up your own project. If you guys have liked this tutorial, then do not hesitate to hit that red subscribe button down below. Hope to see you guys in our next tutorial. Till then, bye.